everyone. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Catherine, and if you are not new here, welcome back. It's been a while, but today I wanted to kind of talk through my start of year setup for 2022 in my journal, and also my January setup. And in the process, kind of give you guys like a life update, what's been going on, and what I'm thinking for this channel moving forward. Things have changed quite a lot, as I'm sure they have for a lot of people. And so just as I go through this journal, you'll see some new pages, oops, stray piece of paper there. You'll see some new pages, maybe some old pages, and let's just kind of get into it, and you can kind of find out where my head is and where I am potentially going with this channel as the year progresses. So here we go. This year I am using this beautiful Archer and Olive notebook. I am very excited to be back in an Archer and Olive notebook. I used Notebook Therapy all of last year, and one thing I've discovered as a big difference between the two brands, for my eyes, for the way I see and the way my eyes work, actually the dots in the Archer and Olive notebooks are easier to see in different types of lighting, where I had a really hard time with Notebook Therapy. If the lighting wasn't just exactly right, it was very hard to see the dots and to follow the dots, which made drawing like straight-ish lines freehand, as I tend to like to do, because rulers, I get a little obsessive about lining rulers up exactly right, and they take longer for me to use, and I get annoyed with that, so I just want to go in with a pen and, you know, draw the line just following the dots. So it's never perfectly straight, even in the Archer and Olive notebooks, but I do find that I have a lot more flexibility with the lighting in my Archer and Olive notebooks than I do in the Notebook Therapy ones. So for me, Archer and Olive works much better, and I'm very excited to be back in Archer and Olive. It was much more pleasant setting this up as opposed to Notebook Therapy, which just has slightly paler dots and, to my eyes, slightly more difficult to see. I have also decided to move into a B5 size notebook, in the hopes that the larger size can allow me to actually use one notebook for the entire year instead of two. Honestly, I get very annoyed setting up a notebook mid-year, because as I get towards the end of one notebook and know that I'm going to have to move into the next one, I stop wanting to use the first one. And that happens to me in December each year as I move into my notebook for the next year. And it happens to me in June when I have to switch notebooks halfway through the year. So I'm very excited. I think I'm going to actually be able to fit my entire year of 2022 in this one notebook. And that for me is just super exciting. Plus, it's really pretty, and I don't really want to have to use the second one. So let's get into it. I'm just going to open it up here. So I was nervous about B5 at first. Hang on, bear with me. I'm just going to make sure I'm in frame. Oh, good. Okay. I was nervous about a B5 notebook at first, just thinking, oh my gosh, I like to use stickers in my notebooks, and how is this going to work? But so far, so good. So my start of journal setup, I used the coffee sticker theme from Stick with Kate, and I will link her stickers down below. I'll link her shop. I love her stickers. They are absolutely beautiful, and I've ordered from her before, and with the stickers, with your order, she always sends this really beautiful sort of gift tag with your name in calligraphy, which is just beautiful. It's on different paper every time, a different color scheme every time, but and this was from, I think, one of the first orders I got from her, so it was not from this most recent one. But I just thought the color scheme of this particular gift tag was perfect for my coffee setup. And so I was very excited to have the chance to use this because I love these tags. I save them and I just wait. And I have to say, what was very satisfying about having the B5 notebook was having enough space on this page for the tag to actually fit perfectly. I didn't have to cut it. I didn't have to do anything to it. This pretty little Dior to-go coffee cup also came from Stick with Kate. It was another sort of bonus freebie in one of the orders that I'd placed with her, I think last year sometime. And again, I've just been waiting for the right time and place to use this. And I think this is really fun, a really fun place and way of using these sort of bonus freebie stickers that she sent. Well, cutouts at least. I don't think this top one is a sticker. I used double-sided tape to secure it down. And then some washi tape from Amanda Rachley, which I just thought complemented the color scheme very nicely. I have 2022 written down in the bottom of the page in these really nice, like, warm brown tombos. And I really love this just warm color scheme. I think it fits very nicely with the cover of the notebook, and it was just so nice to use. So I used my Tombow dual brush pens for the lettering. You'll notice throughout this setup, the numbers are awkward. I have a hard time writing numbers and making them look nice. And personally, I especially hate writing twos. I think they always look very awkward. I have a very hard time making them consistent in any way. And so I'm really not thrilled with how my twos came out. And of course, it's 2022, so it's like all the twos. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't love it. But whatever. It's 2022, so you gotta write all the twos. So flipping over, again, this is the coffee theme from Stick with Kate. So I have this beautiful coffee cup with cinnamon sticks in it and coffee beans. And I just think this is such a pretty way to start out the notebook. And with this theme, I really wanted to choose a quote that would kind of talk about the new year, but also talk about it like as a new day or a fresh start kind of idea. You know, you typically have coffee in the morning. And when I do drink coffee, which is not often, because if you know me, you know that coffee and I do not get along very well. I turn into a hyper chipmunk when I've had coffee under the wrong circumstances or the wrong type of coffee. So I don't have it very often, but when I do typically have it in the morning. And so I chose this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, which I really love, the idea, especially starting a new year and starting a new journal. And it's, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. And I just thought that was a really lovely way to start it. I had some fun playing with the lettering, just kind of simple, plain lettering, and then day, strength, and thoughts. I tried this sort of ombre coffee, the coffee ombre effect. So I wanted darker, almost like coffee color on the bottom, and then moving up to lighter, so almost like if you have the foam on top of a latte maybe. And then of course I have my grid spacing guide, which I do realize is on the wrong page. It should actually be over here, but this side doesn't have a dot grid and this right side does, because this is actually the start of the dot grid pages. So this is where it ended up. It's kind of annoying to use because I do have to flip all the way back. I can't just kind of flip it over enough to just see what I'm looking for on the left side, because I have to flip all the way over to the right side. But by the time I get familiar with the numbers of dots on each page, horizontally and vertically, I think that will get better, because I won't have to refer to it as much. But I really like having a grid spacing guide in my notebook. I think it's a great idea, and especially with a brand new size, it's helpful for me to have that quick reference of, wait, how many dots are on a page? And oh, okay, how do I split things up again? So I have the amount of space I usually use for a header, which actually I've already changed because of just the numbers. There are 47 dots here, so if I use 5 spaces for a header instead of 6, then that means I have an easier time dividing, especially by 7, which when we get to my weekly spreads in January, you will see why that's important. But again, just having this sort of general idea of how I might split things up is very useful for me, especially in a new notebook and in a new size that I'm really not used to, but I'm really loving. So flipping over the page now, here is my future log. Again, I have the stickers from Stick with Kate. Fun coffee bean, like stars, and coffee cup. Actually, this coffee cup matches the one that is on my cover page. And then I just really liked this, this header up here with all the coffee beans kind of sprinkled around. I absolutely love Kate's calendars. I think they are adorable. They're very, very useful. And I like the bright white. She also has like a see-through sticker paper, which I have used before, but I got a little bit annoyed with that one only because I have trouble lining things up exactly with the dots. And so with the see-through sticker paper, it was a little more noticeable than I liked that I hadn't lined things up exactly right. So when it's just plain white like this, it's easier to sort of gloss over if I didn't line things up just right. But the more I use stickers, the more practice I'm getting with lining things up too. So I think I'm getting better at that. But yes, this is my future log. I have all 12 months here. You can see lines. I tried to go over the brown lines in white gel pen, but originally I was going to have my future log going down the page instead of across. But when I got the stickers, because our mail was really messed up in December, so by the time I got the stickers, I had already basically done all the outlines for the pages and just figured I'd put the decorations in when they got here, and was really hoping that things would get here in time for me not to have to draw all the calendars out by hand. And I hadn't realized the stickers were quite so large, so I wasn't going to be able to fit an entire year if I went down the page. So I ended up having to go across. But of course I already had the lines drawn in marker. Don't do that. If you are working with a new size, or if you are working with stickers that maybe you don't remember how long they are or whatever, wait till you get them. If you must draw lines, draw them in pencil. Do not go over them in marker. Because, yeah, oops. Learn from my mistakes, everyone. But it's kind of cool. I do kind of like it because you can see the brown through the white gel pen, and kind of makes me think of like just streaks of coffee. You know, maybe there was like a stain or something. I know they're a little too regular to truly look like a normal stain, but I like it. At least I'm telling myself that to keep me from going crazy. And I really didn't want to have to move my future log, so that's what it is, and that's what I'm going with. Next, we've got my goals page. As you can see, I have my goals over here on the left-hand side. I have them split up into personal, professional, and financial. And I haven't made my goals yet. That's actually going to be a journaling project for today. But I also have space. So I have space for 3 goals in each box. And then on the right-hand side of each box, I have another space just to journal a little bit if I want to say anything about maybe why I want these goals or how I might think I could go about accomplishing them or different things like that. And again, just some fun coffee style stickers for these goals. And then on the right-hand page, I have a 22 22s in 2022. I got this idea from Jashi Corinne, and I think it's a really fun idea. So as you can see here, I've started to fill them in already. I have not obviously come up with all 22 things, and I'm not going to rush that. Some will be related to the goals that I set. Some will just be things that I want to do over the course of 2022. And so we'll see how that goes. I think it's really fun. I think it's a great idea. And if I like it, then I will continue it in 2023. But I really do enjoy this particular page. I like how it came out. Yeah, it's fun. It's a cool one. And then down at the bottom, I don't have a header or anything for this like open journal-y space down here, but I wanted to give myself a little extra room to either spill over from my goals or to just brain dump a little bit if I feel like I need to. I don't have a specific brain dump page in this yearly setup, so I thought this would be a good space if I need one, or if again I run out of space over in my goals page, that I can spill over a little bit should that be necessary. And again, just some fun coffee sticker doodles in here as well. All right, and then the next page, and I do have my bookmark in here because this is the first page that we are also coming to a little bit of a life update. I'm going to be using this page a lot this year, and I may need to add another one later in my journal depending on how quickly this fills up. But I wanted to make myself a teaching tracker. So you may know, or you may not, know that back at the end of the summer, the Chinese government decided that foreign teachers, students could no longer take classes with foreign teachers online. So companies like VIP Kid, GoGo Kid, all the other online ESL companies who hired many native teachers who obviously are foreign in China, had to very quickly redo how their teaching was structured, how things worked with students. VIP Kid, I think, held on the longest, and they do still technically exist. They have gone global, and that is very exciting. But it's, you know, it's slow going. It's a new market. So I do still have my contract with them. I do still have the ability to open slots. I did actually get invited to the global platform. I kind of think of it as the global party because it's invitation only. So I'm like, oh, I got invited to the global party. But that's slow going. And so I can still teach with them. But in the meantime, I've also added Cambly, so I'm also a Cambly tutor. And I actually was able to find a job with Elevate K-12, so I'm also an online substitute teacher with them. And all of these are independent contracting type of jobs. And so I just wanted a place where, regardless of the company, I could put down the date that I taught, the company I taught with, and then the time, like literally just what time to what time, and then the total number of hours with that particular company, how much money based on what I know my pay scale to be, how much money I should be getting paid, and then any notes that I might need to make. And I'm pretty sure this tracker will not last me the entire year. I'm fairly certain I'll have to add another one somewhere else in my journal. But this gives me a place to kind of keep track of the different companies that I work for and how much time I'm spending on each, and where all that's happening. So yeah, but as a side note, if you live in the US or if you don't live in the US and you know families or you have children who you think would benefit from learning English through VIP Kid, they are now global. So I will leave my referral link for students in the description box if you are interested. My referral link for that is an affiliate. I do get credit, and if they sign up, I do get money for a small commission for them having signed up. Just so you're aware of that. That is the only link that will be in any way related to me financially. Everything else is just stuff that I use and love. And honestly, I really do love VIP Kids curriculum. I would not be recommending them for students if I didn't. But if you're interested or you know someone who's interested, I will have that link down below. Right now, I'm doing most of my teaching with K-12. They're the most consistent, and they are the highest paying for me at the moment, so they're the ones that I'm mostly sticking with. But yeah, so that is my teaching tracker. I'm hoping it'll work, but since it is only this one spread, I know I'll have room to be able to make improvements when I have to set up the next one. I'm going to leave that bookmark there because I will definitely need to come back to that one. And then I've seen other people do these, and I almost didn't do this spread this year, but this is a 2022 memories spread, and particularly I've seen Amanda Rachley put them in her journals every year, and I just thought it would be fun this year, so I decided to give it a try. It is a very empty spread right now because the idea is that each month-ish I will print out a picture or two from that month with particular, just a particular memory, something fun, something we did that was a little wacky or whatever, or just something that I want to remember. And more than likely, because photo paper is expensive and these pictures will be on the small side, it'll be a few months before I actually have any pictures in here, because I'll just keep a document on my computer and, put the pictures in as we go. And once I have a full page, I'll print it out, cut them out, and stick them in. So we'll see how this goes. Again, I may need to make another one of these later on. I don't know. I'm hoping to just be able to have all of the pictures on this one spread, but I'm still not used to just how much space a B12 or B12, a B5 notebook gives me. So I may need more room than this. I may not. I'm not really sure. I would have liked to have had like a quote about memories down here somewhere, but I just couldn't find one I liked. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love something. It should be short. I really don't want to take up a lot of space with extra things because I really want the pictures mostly to speak for themselves. But I do think a nice little quote for down on the bottom of the right-hand page here would be nice. Something about memories. I just couldn't find one at the moment that I particularly liked or felt was appropriate. But yeah, so that's that. And that is the end of my, yearly setup. That's the word. And so now we come into January. And so for January, I had a few stickers from Stick with Kate's setup left over, so I used those to use them up. I really wasn't ready to get rid of the or to move on from the nice warm browns and like coffee and everything, so I actually used mostly for this one stickers that I got from Junie's Sun Studio, and she had a whole coffee theme back in March, so I bought that monthly setup. And I used, again, some stickers that I got from Stick with Kate that I had left over from the yearly, because obviously it was a monthly kit and I was doing a yearly setup, so I didn't need all of the, especially the more functional stickers from there. So I used those just to use them up. And then I used a lot of the decorative stickers from Junie Sun. And I really love how this monthly setup turned out. Over on the cover page, I did January in kind of a curved, just like plain font, but I really like how it turned out. It's in this beautiful brown, and have some coffee bean stickers scattered around. And then there's like a tray in the middle of the page with a cup of coffee, and it looks like a pitcher of cream, and some cookies, a spoon, and some more coffee beans. And it's just so cute. I love this setup. I think it's adorable. And then I have the quote underneath is, coffee smells like magic and fairy tales. And that's by Allison Zarnecki. And I agree with that. I absolutely love the smell of coffee. Even if I can't drink it all the time, I love the way it smells. So I have January here, and then I'm giving it a try in a B5. We'll see how I like it. I'm giving a one-page calendar a try. It's definitely smaller, like the boxes are smaller than I would typically want, but I really don't use my monthly calendar that much. I do tend to use the weeklies more. And because I have all 4 of my weeks set up already, I don't think I'm going to need the huge calendar, but I really like having a calendar each month. Even though I could go back to my future log and just look at that calendar, I like having a dedicated calendar for that month in each monthly setup. So that's what we've got. I've got the number stickers from Stick with Kate, the days of the week also from Stick with Kate, but then, and the little coffee here is from Stick with Kate. Everything else on this page, this washi came from Junie Sun Studios. She always includes washi tape in her monthly sticker kits, and I love how these just go so well with the coffee theme. I also have a space for monthly goals down here. I may decide that I want a slightly bigger calendar, or I may decide that I want this sort of setup, or this particular spread, to take up a little bit more room, to give myself more room for journaling. But for right now, I like it, and we'll see how it goes as I go through the month. Flipping over, I have my January meal plan spread, and again, Junie had some beautiful stickers with what's it called, with a to-go cup of coffee and a croissant and some cookies. And so I just thought that fit really well with the whole idea of a meal plan, because it's food. And then I do have a number strip from Planning with Kay. I had one left over on one of her sticker sheets, and I just thought the black went really well. And I mean, I could have written the numbers out myself, but I don't know. I've kind of gotten used to using these number strips, and I rather like them. So have that, and some more washi from Junie, which I just think is so cute and fills in the bottom space here without taking up too much room, with an actual like full-sized sticker. On the other page, I have these are my last 2 sort of coffee doodle stickers from Stick with Kate. So I use them to frame the January reflection title. I got the idea for this page again from Jashi Corinne. I really like the idea of this page. We'll see if I actually end up using it all that much. But I also took inspiration for the categories from her as well. So I have memories. So obviously no actual pictures here, just a place for me to write down specific memories or things I want to make sure I don't forget from this month. What in the world? So things that are going on in the world, in the news, whatever, anything that I happen to hear. And again, that I just want to kind of make note of, you know? Then I have media consumed. I'm not going to write every single thing down here, but if there's something in particular that I enjoy, or that made a particular impression on me, it will go here. I've been told that Encanto is now free on Disney Plus, so I actually want to watch that. So if I do end up watching that this month, it will probably go in this media consumed category. So things like that, books that I might read that I really just extra enjoyed, or you know, if I've read a book a million times, I might not write it in here, but if I've read a new book or a particularly good book or whatever, it might go in here. Again, like podcasts I listen to regularly, I don't have room to write down every single thing that I watch or listen to, but anything special will go here. And then just a little spot for reflection. If there's anything in particular I want to journal about, I can put it in this last little quadrant here. And we'll see how this goes. Again, I may decide I want this to be a full spread to have more space for things, or I may just want to leave it as is. I don't really know, but I apparently have room. I counted it out. And even with the weeks that have, or even with the months that have 5 weeks in them, I will have space in this journal for the entire year. And I will also have space to play around a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. And then we come to my weekly spreads. For January, again, the days of the week stickers are from Stick with Kate, and then the decorative stickers are from Junie Sun. I really like the way these weeklies turned out. I tried to make each weekly different. And I know, you know, some of you are going to tell me, well, just set everything up as you go, set up each week as you go. And I have tried that in previous journals, and it does not go well. I really prefer to just have my entire week at the beginning, like set up, my entire month, all the weeklies, everything set up at the beginning of the month, because that just frees me up to actually use my journal and to do other things that I really want to do instead of feeling stuck having to set up my next week because it's coming up and I need it set up. So this way I can just do what I do, everything's all set up, and if I want to change something or if I found a weekly that I really loved in this setup, then I can use it for next time. So I have smaller daily boxes on the right hand side for the first setup, the first weekly, and we'll see how this goes. I may decide I want more space in each day, but I don't, except for teaching, which I now have a different spot for. There's not all that much that goes on each specific day, so we'll see how that goes. And then I have a similar sized box for tasks. Again, each week is different in terms of the number of tasks I end up needing. So this may be enough, this may not. I may decide to change things around a bit in terms of how I set up my task list versus how I set up the rest of my weeks. I didn't feel like doing a whole big monthly habit or mood tracker, so I'll probably do a little face or something for the mood on each day if I decide to track that at all. And then I have a small habit tracker down here, and I have a small habit tracker for on each week to do a weekly habit tracker because I just don't feel like doing a big one right now, and I didn't know how much room I had. So that may come back next month, it may not. I'm not really sure. We'll see how I feel. So then on the right hand side, the second week of January, my boxes are a little bit different. I have the weekly set up, like the days of the week are in a more vertical style. So the boxes again are a little smaller, but they're a little bit wider. And then I have a rather big tasks section. Same thing with the habit trackers, and then just some decorations. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. And then I decided to do a sort of like 8-box grid for the third week of January, and tasks down at the bottom, so that's the 8th box. Habit tracker at the very bottom, again, with some cute decorations. I've done this style of weekly in my A5 bullet journal, and I did like it. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. The only thing with this in terms of the A5 was that it made each day a little bit too small. But there again, this is a B5, so it's a bit bigger, and I might end up really enjoying this size. And then finally, the 4th week of January, again, the same sort of vertical daily layout, but I made the daily side wider. So the tasks list is narrower, but it's also on the long side, so we'll see how that goes. And then I have my habit tracker again. So we'll see how this all goes. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a new size, new journal, new year, and that's it. So that's it for my January setup and my yearly setup. As you can see, I have plenty of space. And again, if the monthlies end up being this short, if I end up making them this simple, I'm going to have a lot of room to play with. So I'm actually not worried at all about fitting my whole year in this journal. Yeah, so that's that. As far as this channel goes, my schedule has obviously changed dramatically. I am now very, very occupied during normal US waking hours, or normal East Coast US waking hours, and working hours, because of substitute teaching online. And so I'm probably not going to do as many full-on plan with me's. I'll probably do more of these sort of flip through talking style journaly videos, because just finding the time and energy to sit down and set up my journal all in one go and film it and everything just was kind of a lot. I really enjoy sharing what I've done for my setup, but I don't think I'm going to show the step-by-step of here's how I made everything, because it's just a lot, and I like having the freedom to kind of set things up here and there as I move throughout my day and as I have some free time. And that just doesn't work if you have to set up filming every single time in order to do that. So the plan with me's are probably not going to be as prevalent. Most likely going to do a lot more of, when I do have journaling type videos, it's probably going to be more of this style of flip through, talk through it, talk about how things are working or not working, or what I like or don't like about different pages or processes of how I maybe drew something. And I'd like to do more vlogs. I'd like to actually really try and film some vlogs. I think they'd be fun. I just haven't quite gotten it in my head to work that type of filming / checking in / whatever it is that you do for a vlog into my routine. But I do think it would be fun, especially as my schedule has changed a lot and I am sort of moving into a new routine and new ways of doing things and planning for things and thinking about different things. So that's my plan. I'm also thinking of moving my upload day to Mondays, just so that way I have the entire weekend to edit or finish up any filming if I need to do that, and upload, and I don't have quite the stress of trying to make sure everything is up by some point on Sunday, because it's just kind of been a lot, and still kind of adjusting to a new schedule and a new routine. So those are my thoughts. That's my journal for 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel and want to stick around and see what in the world I'm up to, feel free to subscribe. And if you hit the bell, then you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And yeah, until next time, whenever next time happens to be, I hope you all have a fantastic day and a fantastic start to your year. Bye everyone. See you next time.